My son was burned by boiling water. We rushed to Parenyatwa Hospital. He was 2.5 years then. During my visit to the hospital, I saw doctors having challenges and nurses having challenges in communicating with the deaf. It touched my heart despite my own problems, which I was facing then. After 3.5 weeks, my son died. As a way to cope up with grief, I told my wife, I want to go to school. School? Why? For what? I said, as a way of coping with grief. I think, my doctor, you understand what I'm talking about. Losing someone. Coping with grief. If you have never lost someone, you don't understand about grief. So I told my wife, let's go together. She said, with this magnitude, I can't. He was our last born. 2.5 years. I went to school for 18 months at the highest level, right? After finishing 18 months, I told God, I want to establish something that when we talk, people listen. For 2.5 years, we worked on the licensing. You know how difficult it is for you to come a licensing for higher and tertiary when you are just nobody. They would ask me, what do you have? I said, I don't have any land. I only have one of my properties, 437 square meters. They would say it's too small, but I would argue, we don't make noise. Finally, after 2.5 years, we are granted a license, first of its kind in Zimbabwe, higher and tertiary license to train sign language at the highest level. My first port of call was Parenyatwa Hospital, where my son died from. I trained doctors there. I went to Chitungwiza, I trained doctors there. I went to Harare Hospital, I trained doctors there. And I approached my conference. I said to the personal ministries director, I want to train 100 pastors free. You know what he said? Are you registered? I cried home. And I went home. Then fortunately, Pastor Ted Wilson was coming. I went again to the conference and said, I'm resubmitting myself. I want to interpret free for 2 weeks. Abnormal hours. That's when I was granted. That's when 26 deaf people were baptized at Ted Wilson, the first ever. From there, we have never turned down. We have never looked back as far as evangelism is concerned. Now the government of Zimbabwe recognized us and called us to be trained at the highest level, Parliament of Zimbabwe. You know, when they wrote to me, I sent a training schedule. The first was 30 minutes devotion, special needs, then sign language. They phoned me, public relations officer phoned me, said, but are we going to church? I said, leave it like that. Serious. I'm talking about the highest level. I said, leave it like that. Then they would ask, they asked me, why are you putting special needs? We've got special needs department at parliament level. I said, leave it like that. They left me. We went to Holiday Inn for a week. So the first thing I asked them, I said, all those who go to church, can you raise your hands? They all raised. I said, one down. I said, those who are ministers and who are leaders to their church. And I said, those who pray in parliament. Then I asked the question, why were you saying I should remove this? if you go to church. You know, as an Adventist, I like Pastor when he said here, be innovative to reach out. You know, God gave us these people for a week crusade. Then I just teach them sign language. No! Be innovative. So every 30 minutes, every day, for 5 days, evangelism. 30 minutes, devotion. That's me. So what am I saying? As far as evangelism is concerned, we are not counting on money. Don't misquote us. We are not counting on money, but on evangelistic. Imagine, this ministry, special needs ministry, it's a ministry whose time has come. And we are not supposed to leave anyone behind. Now I'm supposed to be here. Okay. How to include people with special needs. You know, when I was here, I was busy assessing and seeing. Already here, half of people here is special needs. But you don't know. If not all. Actually, all of you is special needs. But you don't even know about yourselves. You only counted these people who are in wheelchairs and the deaf. God forbid. Today you are going to see. And that's very true. To those who are putting on spectacles, it's just... that's a special need. Am I right? Okay. Can you read together? Let's go. Blindness separates people from what? But what? From people. What am I saying? Deaf people, deafness separates people from people. He is there in your house, but separated. Who can communicate with them? Who? Oh, sorry. I'm used to science. Using my hands. I'm not used to this. Okay. Now, a deaf person or a deaf child or your relative, you can be with him, but separated from you. But the blind are there, they can hear. They are not separated. It's only deafness that separates who? You and me. Imagine you are a pastor. Are you only a pastor for the hearing? So what are we doing? Are we saying, I love this song. We are marching to Zion. Beautiful, beautiful. Wait. With immediate effect, with the power of this convention, at this minute, you are not supposed to sing this song. We means inclusive. Where are they? We. When Moses saying we, he meant it. And he went with them, including the flocks. Let's go. Health is not health until people with special needs are what? Considered in a holistic what? Way. By excluding people with special needs, we are depriving our families, communities, the health needed. Until then, we won't understand the impact of health in communities. What are we saying? As long as our expos have no people with special needs, then we have not started the expo. Who is going to do? And who is going to reach out to them? Who? And yet we have got this beautiful gospel to reach out. Go ye, leaving no one. And now this year we are saying total member. Which member? When they are out. Let's go. Health is not medical. Understand? In court? We forget the importance of social integration for promotion of comprehensive health. Society recognizes people, not conditions, hence not living. Anyone? We put tags on medical grounds, but society sees what? But we are living them. A call to mission. Now, for security reasons, I am quoting. Understand me? For security reasons. The pen of inspiration. The work of gathering in the needy, the oppressed, the suffering, the destitute is the very work each church that believes the truth of this time should long since have been doing. We are to show the tenderness of the Samaritan in supplying the physical necessities, feeding the hungry, bringing the poor that are cast out to our homes, gathering from God every day grace and strength to enable us to reach to the very depths of human misery and help those who cannot possibly help themselves. In doing this work, we have the favorable opportunity to set Christ, the crucified one. So if we are not doing this, we are not showing Christ, the crucified one. Another quote. I saw that in the providence of God, that widows and orphans, the blind and the deaf, the lame and persons afflicted in any variety of ways have been blessed, mark that, in a close Christian relationship to his church. It is to prove his people and develop their true character. Mark that, true character. Angels of God are watching on how we treat these persons who need our sympathy, love, and disinterested benevolence. This is God's test for character. If in your churches there are not these people, then we have not started praying to God. It's not my Mapeta version. Now, I like this quote. It is over-quoted in and out. Let's go together. Christ's method alone will give true success. Wait. Which is Christ's method? He mingled with what? Who? Them who? The righteous? Who? Remember Luke 4:18. Then he stood up and read, the Spirit of God is what? Upon me. And what did the elders of the church and the pastors? Bataimun. Out. Actually, they were commissioning him out. Where are people afflicted of many infirmities? Where are they? Out. 35 of the miracles Jesus did. 25 special needs. Research well. So if we are saying Christ's method alone, 25 go out and reach out to them, and he bade what? Follow. How can you say just pitching up a tent, come, follow Christ, Jesus loves you? That's not the Jesus way. He mingled first, making friendship, addressing their needs. Yes. Okay? Right. How to include them? Provide a warm and welcoming environment in churches and school. I mean, I'm shocked, and yet the church, the whole church worldwide, it's a ministry, special needs ministry. But our schools, no special class. We have never started. We are saying, my child should go to Jairus Jiri, where they are taught Roman Catholic doctrine. But we have got the doctrine. We don't want to put even one single unity for special needs. Where are we? So we have never started. It is a wonderful way to show that, don't worry, don't write, we are going to give you this after. It is a wonderful way to show that every person can receive God's promises and serve in God's what? Kingdom. Okay? Seek advice and help from the person's what?
Which means what? What does this tell you? Small group. If you want the child, you want the whole family. Accept the person with special needs by the church, helps the church to grow by serving one another and putting the interest of those with special needs. Okay? Get to know the person as a unique individual. Use age-appropriate language and activities. Age-appropriate and language. Zirema, mbeveve, ingomanzi wacho, isilema. God forbid. And actually as a church we have formulated a song. By Wapo Vaskana Zire. We have formulated a song. You don't need to sing about my disability. I know I am deformed. When Jesus comes, I'm going to be changed. Don't sing about my disability. Who are you to tell me I'm going to be changed? I know it. Don't remind me. And actually in Shona, those who did Shona, Z, Arimpanda 8, which means Zinu. So in other words, they say, Zinu izo, panoya Jesus shashandwa izo. How readest thou? Don't do any, right, let's go. Don't do anything with the group that one person has no chance to do successful. Are you seeing what we are doing here? She is deaf, but there is an interpreter. That's her right to worship God freely. Respect person's need to develop independent. Be patient and praise the person the best one. Don't focus on the disability or special need, but focus on the capability. Talk to the whole group about how everyone can be loving and kind to the person with what? Special needs. But at times, we've got attitude. That's the sign for attitude. Church members, they fake. I experienced it when I was in grief. When I needed members of the church, no one could ever come to cry with me. No one. No one for a year. No one. No single person could come. Keep communication open and honesty between you and the person's what? What does it tell you? Be genuine. People with special needs, they see to be fake. This is a fake face. Does not love me, this person. It's lying. Exodus 4. Inclusive mission. Let's go. Now we want to read in 3 languages. Do we have Ndebele? Come. Shona? Come. Then English. 4 languages. And sign what? Language. Come. Come and read. Exodus chapter 4, verse 10 and 11. Ndebele? Anyone with Ndebele? Yes, sir. Shangan is there. Do you have there? Are you there, guys? So it's okay. Shangan we can equate to Ndebele. They can understand. It's okay. English.
Okay. Is it okay? 10 and 11. And Moses said unto the Lord, O my Lord, I am not eloquent, neither henceforth nor
Not one special need. Special need. Who else are not going to go erenga? Hey, no problem. We understand. You can read there. Good one. Okay. 10, 11, as it is written there.
Then Moses said to the Lord, Oh my Lord, I am not eloquent, neither before nor since you have spoken to your servant, but I am slow of speech and slow of tongue. So the Lord said to him, Who has made men's mouth, or who makes the mute, the deaf, and the seeing, or the blind? Have not I the Lord? Verse 4.
Thank you. Good. Debele, are you there? Oh, you can read there, my brother.
Umosi wasisithi enkosini,
Nkosi,
angizange ngibe yisikhulumi lakathesi kangiyisisho. Lanxa usukhulume lenceku yakho, ngoba ngiyagagasa ngilamalimi. Inkosi yathi kuye, ngubani owenza umlomo womuntu?
Right?
Ngubani owenza ukuba umuntu abe yisimungulu, abe yisathuthe lobonayo nesiphofu na? Angithi yimi inkosi na?
Right. Shona.
Moses akathi kuna Jehova. Haiwa Jehova handisi munhu anogona kutaura zvakanaka kunyange zulo kana zulo riya kana kubva pamushanguva yamakataura nomuranda wenyu, nokuti ndiri munhu ane muromo usingagoni norurimi rusingagoni. Jehovha akati kwaari, ndianiko akati muromo womunhu? Ndianiko anoita?
Ndiani akaita?
Akaita muromo womunhu?
Good.
Ndianiko anoita mbeveve kana natsi kana anoona kana bofu? Ko handisi Jehovha here?
Right. Now, sign language. Moses is trying to reason with God. But God, you know, I was born what? With slow of. I can't stand in front of who? Pharaoh. But God said what? Who made men small? Who made them not to speak? Who made the deaf? No, the blind. Is it not I, the Lord? Actually, God is showing Moses, Kutiko, yes, I know you are slow of speech, but there are other special needs whom I've created. And Moses and God said, well, now I am going to give you an eloquent speaker. What an inclusive ministry. What an inclusive God we serve. You know, he used a special need person to deliver. And he provided who? Aaron. And who was Aaron? An interpreter. First interpreter in the Bible. Provided by God himself. I am asking you, when deaf people come to your churches, what do? If God could provide an interpreter to a slow speech guy, what more about us? What does it show? We have to what? To learn. Because in Zimbabwe, we've got 1.5 million deaf people. And as Adventists, we are hitting 900,000. What does it tell you? It means if we are going to take this ministry of special needs, it means special needs ministry is the Adventist way. Because it's only one member, one soul. Of the 900,000 members. And how many? How many? One. So it means Jairus, Jerry is ours. King George is what? Ours. Daniko, ours. Kapota, ours. But actually, we, as Adventists, we are sending them. Why? We don't have user-friendly facilities for them. Where? Inclusive church. That's a pulpit. Anyone in a wheelchair should be able to go there. Go to Waterfalls East Church. They've come up with this innovation after our presentations. Now Waterfalls East. Now this is what we call pulpit. Kuamende kusingaenda kwacho kuhasha. Bahasha. There's a rail with a lamp straight there. When a person with a wheelchair goes into church, he should say, "This is my church." User-friendly facility. Let's go to the toilet. Inclusive toilet with the rail. Is your church this? If not, go and start. Conclusion. An inclusive church is a what? If there is no inclusivity, it means now those with hypertension should be chased out. Because that's a special need. Those with spectacles out of the church. Those who are suffering from sugar out of the church. Epilepsy. Those with fits. Imagine a pastor is preaching, then he goes into some fits. What happens? Have you ever thought about it? It so happened I was at a camp meeting as a guest. Munakadona, fall down. And pastors and guests ran there. And you know the prayer band of the camp meeting. They went there. No God, no God. And I said, what is going there? I went there and checked. I said, excuse me, this does not need prayer. It needs first aid. I said, excuse. Then I put a person into a recovery position. Everyone was staring at me like this. The man was relieved from being dead. It didn't need prayer, but first aid. As deacons, as prayer warriors, no basics. Munhu akadonha nenyaya yenzara ane shuga. Hazvidi munamato izvi, zvinoda chikafu. Mwari kwete pake meeting pano. No God. It's no God. Ndimu matoni special needs. Matadza kuona. Now, the church is what? Blind. Hello? Now, okay, in few minutes, let me do this one. Okay. Where is the connection between sign language and special needs? Where?
I'm asking you. Hello? Okay. Sign shows what is happening.
Saini inoratidza zviri kuitika.
Like what? So you're saying now with you? No, but that's not so banana now. She's a profound dead person. No, but that's so. Jesus is coming again. I know you. I know where we are now. You are not. Who said what I'm talking?
She's actually saying there's nothing.
There is nothing. I'm only doing physio. This is physio for the end. We are not used to this because we are starting a new language called sign language. You have to listen up. We are loosening what? Your hands. So, this ministry, for us to embrace comprehensive health ministry, we don't need to leave anyone behind. Because there is a language which these guys what? Understand, which is sign language. Imagine to a doctor, they come to a doctor, then we start to talk to them cardio. They don't need Greek because 90% of medical terms is Greek and Latin. They don't Latin, that's another language. They need simple language. What is cardio? It's heart. Just write on their card, heart problem, not cardio. Arthritis. Arthritis. They don't even know. You know, research has shown an adult who have gone to school deaf, right? Understanding of terms, it only for a 2 grader. So which means when you are teaching them Bible doctrines, where do you go? Down. You have to understand how you teach them. Zienda na kuenda mcheka wakatandira nyika. Zvinosainika sei? Continuous going. Rope. Round. The country has shan't. But now, zvakuda munhu anoziva chikaranga. Kuti waraitwa ndichiti kuzienda na kuenda mcheka wakatandira nyika. What are we context? What are we saying? Muchikaranga. Zvoro kuti as an interpreter must appreciate chikaranga deep, know the meaning, source, exegesis. Let me say something. Who knows Ndebele deep? Raise your hands. Ndebele, I mean not weku kia. Ndebele iri deep. Raise your hands. Saka, oh, these ones. Where doba. Okay. Vanoziva shona zviri deep. Right, I'm going to speak it in short. Now, even Swana, you are going to say in your language. Okay. Now, I am the one speaking in English. And you are going to, everyone is going to do it in their own mother tongue. And Jesus said, come and take the living water of life. That's correct translation and wrong interpretation. Is Jesus talking about water here? What is he talking about? He's talking about what? No, he's not talking about bread. He's talking about what? Salvation. But your interpreters, because the pastor does not know, my interpreter is saying, come and take living water. Water. Loss in interpretation terms. That's a loss. We have lost a soul. You see how critical sign language is? Because it's a language and our pastor does not know, you don't just call anyhow any person to our pulpits
Please protect the church integrity. They should be learned master guide. They must know their doctrine, where we are coming from and where we are going. For example, you see interpreter saying, God bless. Can you see the blessing? B and where is it from? Bless. Where is it from? Exactly, Roman Catholic. And we don't say bless here. What about pastor? Where is it coming from? The collar of a priest. In other words, when you are preaching, and the powerful, then you are saying the priest is preaching in your own pulpit in this church. Then you say a powerful in what? Interpreter. You need to guard this with immediate effect as pastors. Because 1700, the Roman Catholic already had special needs. We only started yesterday. And whose signs are we using? So which means as an Adventist church movement, we have to formulate our own doctrine signs. If in China, Daniel and Revelation is the same as Zimbabwe, what more about signs? What more about signs? You see how deep it is. And yes, we are saying, we leave no one, we are leaving them behind. Doctrinally, no growth, zero. Now, we are now using, you cannot do something for special needs without the native user of the language. Now I'm calling upon Chieza. She's now teaching you. She's the native user of the language. She was born, she's a profound deaf person. Guess what? She have got an A in maths. Una A wewe. Something that separates the deaf from the hearing is language. Sure, if a Chinese come here and then start speaking in Chinese and speaking in Chinese, you are crazy. You have to learn what? Thank you. So you have to learn? Thank you. And we are there for the church. Now, she is there to teach you. In about 5 minutes, then our time is off. Just 5 minutes, then we are done. Zero interpretation. No, we are using the language. That's how you learn. Very good. When I'm doing interpretation, this was which I, but Mr. Sadi had just a voice lock.
That's sorry. You need to use two hands. As you learn, you then choose which is your dominant hand. You use one hand, either left or right. Communication becomes easy to the deaf. Now we're starting. A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, J, K, that's K, L, your thumb between your fourth and small finger, M, flap down, M. Now the thumb between the middle finger and the fourth finger, N. That's N.
Right. Whilst we are there,
Pause.
this is sex.
Secularly, that's the sign for sex, but to the deaf, it's N.
You say this is sex. This is an N.
O, P. Thumb on your fourth finger, flick outwards, Q. R, the index finger. And then you're going on to S, flick your hands out. We go on to T. Two hands, index and middle finger, flap a U. U. Open the U hands, V. Add another one, W. X. Crooked D, flap down X, then Y hands. And then on Z. Z. Back to exercise.
Those with problems of sleeping, today you are going to sleep like a baby chicken. Now, days of the week. Let's go. D. Days. Let's go.
Days,
Days.
week.
You have seen I didn't say off. This is what we call signed English. I'm not signing exactly. So that's another language. This is just like, okay, now, Mama, can you come? I want to do something, someone from this region. I'm not going to Karanga here. Away from you. Anyone who knows Karanga, that's the best. Good. There's someone from Manikaland. Anyone from Manikaland there? Can you come? Yeah, come. Come. I want you to see something. Someone from this region. After this. Ah, where are you from? Anyone from Mashingo? Oh, people wanted to. Oh, I said from this region. But it's the same. Oh, it's different. Oh, was I know? All right. Okay. Right. Listen. Where's my mic? Now. Okay. I want you to say kettle.
Yes, in English or
What I'm saying.
kettle.
Ketero.
Ketero. You may be seated. Right. Or have said cattle. In their mother, yes, mother tongue. Kettle. There is nothing in English, kettle. Nothing. Kettle. This one. Kettle. There is nothing like that, but because she is speaking English in her inclined language, which is mother tongue. The same applies with the deaf. When they want to say, I'm going to town, they say, me town, go. It's okay. Hence, you have never seen the deaf up there in universities. The markers who are looking at me, they don't understand signed English, hence they mark it wrong. Hence, for the past 38 years, they've been suffering. And yet, this one have got 5 O levels minus English. Because that's not the language. She have got a D on 2 occasions. In signed, imagine, in signed English, according to my assessment, this one, if she have got an A in maths, A, science, A in everything, she have got an A in English. The problem is what? The marker. An educated marker up there. You see where we are falling short. So why am I bringing this? You and me, we have to be learned to this level. So that we guard jealously the ministry. Else, we'll be found wanting. God bless you.